I'm totally a tourist in this VTuber space, right? I don't know about it. I'm dipping my toe into this water. I find it fascinating. But if VTubers don't stomp this shit out now, then it will slowly spread and it will continue to affect these things, which is what we've seen in gaming and other forms of entertainment. Let me just pull up my tweet. I think that tweet says it pretty damn okay. Okay. When it comes to this, I am not really, well, I'll just read this in my own voice here. It says, I'm going to be really transparent. I really don't know a whole lot about the VTubing world. My experience is extremely limited, but I don't need to understand anything about it to see when there's something, when there's some broken brain activist trying to smear a friend. That's clear as day to anybody, right? And we've talked about this over the week with Kirsche. And once again, Kirsche is scheduled to join us tomorrow on the show. I'm sure it's going to be a fucking banger of a show. And we'll talk about this, you know, if she wants. Sometimes when she's on the street, she doesn't want to deal with this nonsense. And that's kind of been an ongoing thing, is like she doesn't like to get into drama. But this has directly impacted her. And now it's spurring off into other things that are happening in the VTuber space. It's like she was the first target, and now they're spurring off and focusing on other people. Now, just as a quick recap here, I wanted to kind of pull this up. And we've done other videos about this. We talked about this at other shows, but I think that it is important to kind of have this background here to kind of tell you where we're at right here. It says, so Anna Valens, which is, okay, a Vice editor who wrote a hit pieces on Kirsche and Velour after Velour rejected their application. This person has admitted to having, I don't feel like urges multiple times, openly fantasizes about putting biological women in rape farms and exclusively used by dudes, played Fall Guys, a game full of children, on stream with a vibrator in their butt, set up to buzz when their character was touched by other people's characters, then immediately privated and deleted the VOD, an article that called him out. And some of their noticeable defenders are right here. Here, you can see serial VTuber harasser did a virtual striptease on Twitch in front of a bunch of minors and thinks children can consent here. And then we have the waitress over here. And these are people who want to slander Kirsche as Nazi right-wing fascists over some edgy jokes, and been spamming her sponsors to drop her in an attempt to ruin her financially. This person says, "La, even if they knew nothing about Kirsche, I would be able to judge her by her enemies alone. You are disgusting. Your friends are disgusting, and you're not welcome in the space, and you never will be. We do not want you here. Get out." And you can see the I Stand with Foxu, which started on the show just a couple days ago with Flash, which was great. This is the writer of this article, Blabs. Did you see this?
I try to avoid these things when possible. So
Sorry,
I've not seen this.
So look, there's a lot there. And even in situations where people have gone on and helped out Kirsche, these people have kind of turned it into something that's about them. Kirsche was gifted some dude wipes from her throne, which is like a, you know, how do you describe Throne, Blabs?
So Throne, actually, I love Throne. I use it all the time. Shout out to Aramis, who's been gifting me stuff for my birthday, actually. A viewer right here. It's basically the safest way to give someone a present as a streamer without the person giving it knowing your personal information, like your home address, your real name, things like that, because Throne is like the middleman. They do everything for you. It's kind of like an Amazon wish list, but when you send stuff on Amazon, you can see that person's name and address, whereas with Throne, it's super private, so I really like it.
So these people have been, you know, so Kirsche got some Throne stuff, and then this person who wrote the hit piece on Vice made it about them. So this is what one of my harassers previously sent to harass me, and this is them screenshotting Kirsche talking about how she received dude wipes from Throne. So somebody sent this to Anna Valens, and they made it about themselves. This is one of my harassers previously sent me to harass me by sending them dude wipes because
he's a dude.
He's a dude.
That's funny.
Pretty fucking
I like
funny.
that.
Right.
It's a huge harassment, a meme.
Right.
It's not even the real thing. She didn't. That freaking Uno didn't receive anything.
Yes. Now, one of the people who's been pushing all this stuff is like I said, I'm not familiar with this space, but I see this person here and I see their profile, and it pretty much tells you everything you need to know, right?
I do have a question though. Like, BT brings up a good point. The fuck are dude wipes? Yeah, what are dude wipes?
I think they just wipe your butt. I think that's the
baby
idea.
wipe.
Yeah, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. But...
Marketed towards dudes when they go to Burger King. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, that person over there has been very critical. As a matter of fact, actually lost a sponsorship for using a racist term, which I didn't know was racist. If they would have said it to me, I would have been like, okay, but they said a racist term on X called white people something. I don't even remember what it was because it was, I've never even heard it, never even thought about it. But if there's rules for thee, there has to be rules for me, right? If you're going to say you can't use this language, well, guess what? When you get called out on using that language, all of a sudden you fuck around and find out. Well, this person has tripled down over here. Says, I would like to apologize for absolutely nothing. Hell, I apologize for myself for not going harder. My words come from pure hatred for bigots. Kirsche and her fans can keep crying. They say, cope and seethe. Well, Savvy came in, says, if you get to be toxic, then everyone gets to be toxic. If no one else can, then you can't either. That's the world you cancel losers made. Follow your own standards or politely do the honorable thing and say you have no standards at all, which Savvy always does a good job of putting things in perspective. And this person don't care over here. So Savvy continues, says, are you ready to admit people have the freedom to make all the edgy jokes they want without fear of a community just distancing them from them? Or do you believe it was deserved given the holier than thou political beliefs? And then they responded, of course, don't care, right? And
why? See, the thing is, I would have just stopped giving this person any attention if I was Savvy. Like, all you're doing is just giving them more attention.
Well, all Savvy's doing is rubbing their shit in their face.
Yeah, I know, but like afterwards, I would move on. Just comment once or twice and then like peace, because all you're doing is giving them the attention that they want. This is literally what they're doing. They want this attention.
Well, I think that this person in particular thinks that they're literally an activist. They're trying to ruin people's lives. And I think that's what's happening in this situation. Now, what about Kirsche? All right. Like I said, she's going to be on the show tomorrow. Looking forward to having her on. It's going to be great, as always. Some of my favorite shows are when she's on. They're just so wild ass and crazy. But she actually responded to Vice, because the one thing that we talked about all along is, how can Vice stand by a writer who has gone out of their way to say such horrible, horrible, evil, vile things about wanting to rape women? Like, unbelievably vile things. So Kirsche actually addressed this and says, hey, Vice, I kind of made a secret middle of the night ballot drop. I left a little something for you. I made sure it's on par with your company's journalistic quality, so you'll take it seriously. And she posted this a little bit ago. It is a Google Doc. And this is her official response, courtesy of all this here. And I think, without letting her be here and speak to it, I'll just kind of read it as maybe I'm not going to read it in the Kirsche voice because I can't do that. But yes, this is the Google Docie, as she says. Why is Vice's Waypoint pushing for 2018 style cancel culture for VTubing? An open letter from Kirsche Verstaal. Hey Vice, what the fuck? I'm Kirsche Verstaal. I'm a VTuber, which means I stream with a digital avatar that looks like this. You can catch me on my streams on YouTube and Twitch. I play games, watch memes, share my thoughts with on the news. You know what streamers do. I basically just tangent on whatever I find interesting, and my honorable chatters affectionately call me a whiplash streamer. I have over 9,000 browser tabs and over 884,000 fans across YouTube, Twitch, and X. Also, I'm not a Nazi. They walk funny, did too much meth, and didn't like to laugh. And they probably would hate me and most of my friends. How come you keep calling me one? Vice used to be known for honest, real stuff, kind of like Gawker aspired to be before, it decided to step into the ring, brother. You did a whole issue dedicated to people who are mentally ill. You sent Dennis Rodman to North Korea. You even used to call out mainstream media for not getting YouTube. In any event, starting about a month ago, Waypoint, which is your vertical quasi-independent outlet, a failed gaming news site that you're trying to revive, something most people don't even know exists? Either way, I started publishing articles. It started publishing articles about me saying I'm a bigot, a Nazi simp, and I'm responsible for all sorts of online harassment. It's completely untrue, of course, but also, why me and why now? I'm an anime foxwoman. I'm reading this in Kirsche's voice in my head, and it makes so much sense. I'm an anime foxwoman, and could be a once respectable news org. What could a once respectable news org want with me? Is it 2018 all over again? Is Vice the PC police for VTubers? So again, Vice, what the fuck? Again, let me break this down. I know I've covered this in my past couple streams, but Vice isn't a subscriber yet. Maybe if I tangent about the Colombian donkey fucking video a few more times, they'll come around. Here's the headline from your first article you published about me. Not to brag, but I have over 184,000 fans. You're accusing me of bigotry because one of my fans is supposed to be a Nazi? That's like saying McDonald's supports communism because Kim Jong-un likes Big Macs. There you go. Rather than back up this outrageous accusation, the article starts by talking about my sponsor GamerSupps, and then you can see it right here. Huh? This is my first time hearing all this supposedly controversy. Literally, I've been sponsored by GamerSupps since September 2023. This is a tactic called manufactured consensus, where activists claim everyone agrees with them to make their point seem legitimate. Note that this paragraph doesn't cite a single source, but also, it is true I've never hidden my political leanings, and yet I've never heard any, quote, controversy until this article started pretending there was one. I've had a few weirdos on Twitter harassing me, but as an oppressed person of anime, I'm used to that kind of thing. And the source cited in the article are anonymous posts on Reddit. Really? Even the people making the post claim they don't watch me and are just repeating hearsay. So a Vice journalist is repeating hearsay from someone who's repeating hearsay? Really? Here's the headline of the second article that Vice published about me. Obviously, it says VTubing has a elephant in the room, bigotry. We talked about that on the show. Obviously, I think harassment is bad. I don't do it. I tell my friends not to do it. The suggestion made repeatedly in this article that my fans endorse harassment is totally false. In fact, fully half of the tweets quoted in this article are from a person who goes by Bint, who has serially harassed me for months. Does Annabelle Lenz mention that in an article? No. Do I have proof of this harassment, which I would have shared if Vice bothered me to ask? Absolutely. Here's a couple of examples right here. We have a couple more pages, but this is more or less Kirsche just taking a shit on Vice, which is
basically
great.
Debunking everything.
Yep. But the article,
I like the bow and the thread. It's very, it's Kirsche-esque. It's funny.
It's perfect. Yes. But the article doesn't talk about this. Instead, the article talks about my sponsor GamerSupps and tries to make it seem like there's some sort of controversy brewing. Look, I love the GamerSupps VTuber. I love that GamerSupps supports VTubers from every side of the political spectrum. That's one of the things that makes them such an amazing partner. And their awesome supplements. Use Kirsche. I love that she decided to squeak that in there. Says, I continue to work with GamerSupps, but if this effort to cancel me is successful, I have to wonder who's next. Here's a third article Vice wrote about me. Again, and they said, Waypoint stands with Annabelle Lenz. Again, I do not, I agree, harassment is bad. No one should do it. I don't do it. I tell my fans not to do it. Right? It says, the article says, everything she's going through. But I'll sum it up. Anna is being attacked for simply asking questions about certain areas of the VTubing community, which she's an active part of. And Kirsche responds, just asking questions? Look, I read through these articles pretty carefully. I don't see a lot of questions. Mostly a lot of statements based on Reddit threads and other anonymous sources. That seems very targeted to me. And why? I'm an anime fox girl VTuber. You're Vice. What the fuck? Also, this happened in the article. The time for games is over. The irony is just totally dead. We are still talking about VTubing, right? Anyways, not to be all you started it, but you literally started it. There was no controversy. No one, a part of a few anonymous internet trolls, Vice quotes in the articles was butthurt about what I was doing or saying on my stream until you started writing articles calling me a Nazi. And now you calling me a bully and saying it's time to start a war? This is 2018 style cancel culture all over again. Is it VTuber gate? Anyway, it's getting pretty tired. Someone says something you don't agree with, start saying they're controversial. Name drop the brands they work with, play the victim card, or rage tweet at them until their sponsors bail. This is the playbook used over and over again. And finally, the last thing here says, anyways, if we're just asking questions, I have one. How come in the middle of all this, Annabelle Lenz is asking people to buy her gifts on Throne? By the way, Anna over here, Kirsche over here, using proper pronouns. Just throwing it out there, right? Surely this isn't just some big branding opportunity.
She's not actually using proper pronouns.
Well,
that's the opposite.
According to them, just to be clear. Surely this isn't just some big branding opportunity for someone who has become the definitive VTube journal, right? Right? I don't want to go to court over this, but if you keep calling me a Nazi and keep calling for my sponsors to drop me, what else am I supposed to do? Seriously, Vice, is this what you want? You want to be the PC police for VTubers? On your front page right now, you have articles about crazy, horny mud truckers or how cool it is to be goth in Ukraine right now. But my stream seems too controversial. It's like I'm asking nicely. Ooh woo. There you go, Blabs. You want to give an ooh woo right there?
Ooh woo.
There you go. Please take these articles down and stop pretending there's a controversy when there isn't. I promise if you do, I'll go back to streaming. And you can go back to reporting on Berlin Sex Toy Expo or whatever it is that you do now. Love, Kirsche. So there we go. That was Kirsche's official response to all this from her.
Apparently, you can be goth in Ukraine, and it's fetched now. That's
fetch. Cool. Stop trying to bring it back. So there's a lot here, right? And we're gonna have her on tomorrow. But this is the thing that's been most interesting about this. After that long response, which she covers everything like in glorious detail, calls him out on everything, and it's wonderful. It's exactly, if you're going to respond, that's how you should respond. But as we said, this is not just stopping at Kirsche. And once again, I'm new to this space. I'm learning about this space, but this all just seems really fucked up because now they're focusing on other VTubers, including this person. I don't know who Kitsu is, but I saw this tweet and I was intrigued by it. Welp, cat's out of the bag. A lot of you have seen by now. I've been doxxed. Authorities have already been informed. And you know why I've been doxxed? Because I dared say I support men. If you don't see it, if you see it, kindly report the post. Thank you. So they doxed this because Kitsu had a pretty basic thought of just like supporting men, which is a thing apparently. And yeah, it's insane. But we're not done because I may have to. This is I don't even know how to say his name. Squatchan, I guess. Please help me, chat. Says this is
Q-chan?
Yeah, I guess this is starting right here. Says all men have perverted fantasies, the average male fantasy, and this is like it's just a man, a family, and a kids, and living what would some would say like well, not even like
I've seen this.
Right, it's great. It's like having a wife, a kid, loving family. Like that is it, right? Skew-chan. Okay, thank you, John. Appreciate that. So yes, and this person responded. Skew-chan says the amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who wants you money. And then they went in and they tried to cancel this person as well for simply saying this, right? And then you have the other side of the spectrum, Blabs, where you have this person who is over here, says another VTuber grifting the right-wing culture war as a focal point of their politics here. And you can see this person, them talking about this, and this person saying, this VTuber saying, why are they like this? Is fed up with women punching down on men. This is going back to Skew-chan right here, right? Going back here. So Skew-chan made those, and this is this person responding to this. And
I just, at the end of the day, it's a whole bunch of people with anime avatars just fighting each other. That's literally what it's come down to.
Well, it's the thing is, if you don't agree with...
Yeah, no, they're insane. Anytime someone disagrees, you're constantly ridiculed, harassed, whatever. Everybody has that online. It's just, this is really, really dumb.
Well,
and this drama stuff is so stupid beyond me.
But here's my point of bringing all this up, right? Is we see a direct correlation between the stuff that's happening in the VTuber community and things that have happened in the gaming space. We just talked about this fucking event that, 20 minutes ago, talking about this nonsense of having radical politics in their gaming event, right? Like, there is a one-to-one parallel line.
I understand that. It's happened it's not even like just like anime and gaming. It's literally every little thing. It's like people who knit too, right? They're like canceling other people who knit. And it's like wild. People who collect baseball cards, they hate each other and it's all fighting. It's insane now. We can't have like this thing called nuance anymore now.
Well, this goes back to the idea of there is no nuance. There is no gray area in any of this. And if you don't agree with the company line, then you're out. Period.
I get that.
And this
my point is, it's just very, very stupid. But people are saying I'm missing the point. I'm not missing the point, chat. I get it. It's just saying it's very stupid that we're at this point.
I would say more than anything, it's exhausting. It's exhausting that you have people who are doing this fun little, they're streamers. That's what they do. They grow their community. And by the way, we all know Kirsche is going to be way better off because of this, right?
Oh yeah, she's benefited from it exactly. Like they did the opposite effect. Instead of canceling her, she is more popular now, more followers, makes more money super chats wise. Everyone's behind her back. It's been like the perfect thing, honestly, for her, except for all the actual mental stress that she's had to endure.
Right. And that's just it. Like you're literally going through all this fucking nonsense. Just it's crazy. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday though, and I wanted to kind of pull this up real fast. People who were going in and buying the Crime Boss game, they were shocked to learn the Crime Boss features Chuck Norris, who they say is a known homophobe and all this stuff, right? And this was over here, says and this is someone in response, says they can't refund it. They played it for more than 2 hours. Hope the devs are happy with the people they choose or their choice. They're also okay with bigotry in the game and calling for IRL deaths on stream. Well, look at how this person respond. Throw bricks at trans folks.
The typical response.
Which is literally advocating violence.
Yep.
So yes, this person should be banned on X for this, or at least that should be taken down for violating these rules here. But you can see this is happening, and this is why I feel like it's important to talk about it, Blabs, right? Like I'm totally a tourist in this VTuber space, right? I don't know jack shit about it. I'm dipping my toe into this water. I find it fascinating. But if VTubers don't stomp this shit out now, then it will slowly spread and it will continue to affect these things, which is what we've seen in gaming and other forms of entertainment. So yes, like heed it as a warning. If Kirsche is the one who is attacked, use the response that Kirsche has had and the growth that Kirsche has seen and the success that Kirsche is seeing because some fucking idiots attacked her as an example. So when you fuck around, you find out that your attacks aren't going to work. You can't cancel somebody who doesn't want to be canceled, right?
I agree.
And Kirsche refuses to be canceled, and I appreciate that. And like I said, she's only going to be, it's only going to help her grow, and I appreciate her, taking that. And some, like we talk about Cabrutus when he launched the DEI detective stuff, he was kind of thrust into things. He didn't want to be, but he was thrust into it, right? And Kirsche was thrust into this, so. But whether she likes it or not, she will be the center point of a lot of if a VTuber gate happens.
Ugh, that's so gross that we have all these gates now.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So, Rary says there are VTuber channels called Leaflet and Asari and Smug Alana. They're pretty based, and whenever they talk about base stuff, they would be attacked nonsensically by the extreme left, just like they did Kirsche.
So I have actually emailed Leaflet and Asari. They're like a mother-daughter duo VTuber. They never responded to me. Well, I did invite them onto the show, so there's that.
Tidpig Rancher says the exhaustion is the point, Craig. They just screech and disturb until anyone who doesn't fit with their narrow, constantly shifting criteria shows up, throws up their hands, and gives up. And then they claim victory. Right. Well, I think that's the wonderful thing about what's happening with Kirsche right now. If there is a good thing, it's that the pushback on this has been monumental. Right. It's been 99.9999998% in favor of Kirsche. Right. And you don't have to be in the VTubing community to realize, hey, that's fucked up. You know, Rary came back and says, I remember last year, Smug Alana had a stalker who was a PDF file. Ooh, by the way, because he would openly talk about fetish and would call Alana was a fash just because. And then he threatened to sue, even though the guy self-reported. Interesting. Wow, Rary, that's pretty fucked up. Stephen Miller says, why has nobody notified the authorities? This is a sick person that needs to be put away in a mental asylum. Please report him to the police before a child actually becomes a victim of this pervert. That's the one thing that I truly don't understand about this.
Because apparently speaking, you wouldn't be able to if they've not actually done anything, right? And
I don't know.
I think that's how it works. Otherwise, you could just report everybody, and everybody could just be sent into like a hospital, right? Don't they willingly have to be going into a hospital themselves? I think.
Well, I don't know. We certainly need to bring back asylum.
Oh yeah, I just tweeted it out. Somebody was calling me a bootlicking racist, so I ratioed them, saying bring back mental asylums.
Appreciate that.
I agree with Graham here. The price we pay for a free society. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is truth in that. For sure, there definitely is. But it's important. Look, you have a wild animal, right? You have to tame that wild animal and set boundaries, right? And I think that's what's happening right here in the VTubing community with Kirsche is these people are being attacked, and the rest of society is going, "Yo, that ain't gonna fly," and that's why it's important to talk about this stuff. You know, yo, this shit ain't gonna fly, y'all. What are you doing? You know. Get the fuck out of here. Go back to your corner. You can go complain on your blue sky and do what you need to do. But the rest of us here in normal society, normal world, we ain't doing that. And I think Zinnick is 100% right on that. Cole just came in and says Ace 1918 actually did call the FBI. He just dropped a video on that too. Also, Vice just deleted 2 of the screenshots used in their hit piece. Tweet that to me, Cole. That's interesting. If Vice is stepping back because they realize that they're kind of fucked up, that's really interesting. Cold Acid says you don't need a phrenologist to recognize that this fake ginger is seriously dented in the head. Oh, we're talking about the previous event. Yes, for sure. Zach Cat says no blabs. It's not anime avatars. It's women being saying it's okay to love men and being attacked by the left. It's not okay to be a normal man. You must be a part of the woke or be destroyed.
That's not what I was saying either.
Well, maybe what you're saying wasn't put as eloquently, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still people behind anime avatars yelling at people for common sense. It's very stupid. That is my point.
Regardless of if it's their face or an avatar, it's what they're saying.
No, when you're hiding behind a little anime avatar, it's even more stupid because you don't have the balls to actually put your face out there and say what you want to say.
You know, I don't know if that's the case. You don't think that Kirsche would say those things publicly?
No, it depends. If it's like an actual VTuber streaming, talking as compared to some random ass troll who won't put their face on the internet and protects themselves, there's a
right. Well, and I think what you just said could like really piss off a lot of people, right? You said if you're just some fucking, you said standing behind an avatar. Well, that is what VTubers do, right? VTubers are behind an avatar and they are saying these things.
That's not my point. I'm saying like on Twitter, right? You're a little troll. That's all you do. You're afraid to even post your face out there. And all you do is cause like chaos and you're a piece of shit online to people who are just going about their day.
You're talking about the people on Twitter, not the VTubers.
No, I'm not talking about VTubers. I'm talking about Twitter.
Okay. Just looking for clarity on that for sure. Prairie says, I mean, Legal Mindset made numerous streams about VTuber controversies. Whatever be like the pre-mentioned Alana case to the horrible practice of. Yeah, that I can't even say that. A corporate that caused talent to most. Wow, that's crazy. That's fucked up. Okay. We have more here. Okay, yes, we have this. Vice has removed the screenshots. This is from Kirsche here. Vice has removed these screenshots from the article. You can see it right here. Bro, another one of Vice articles just dropped. And they removed these articles, these apparently. So that's interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay, interesting. It seems like they're doing a little bit of backtracking to kind of see what's going on. Okay. So look, Kirsche will be on tomorrow, and I'm sure we're going to get into more of this. And this is, I don't know. Like I said, I think that like some gatekeeping is required in a situation like this, and it's good to see people pushing back with all this. So, what a mess. But if you guys like what we do over here and you'd also like to support Kirsche, we encourage you to head over to Side Scrollers Plus. Think of this like a Gamer Subs partnership that she has just with us, where she receives money from your membership, right? You can use promo code FoxLady over at Side Scrollers Plus, and you'll get access to all the other fun things that we have going on over there as well. Some announcements we will have later this week, and some we will have next week as well. Use promo code FoxLady at Side Scrollers Plus. Good things are happening over there. We'd really appreciate that, man. Okay, real quick, I wanted to show this. This was brought up in the chat a second ago. This guy Ace1918 reported this. Now I want to watch a little bit of this because I've only screened just a tad of this, but we'll watch about 90 seconds of this, and then it shows off the horrible things that this person said. Well, we know all this shit. We know this shit, right? But I think that it's important for you to understand this as well, Blabs. Let's just play this real quick.
Have watched my previous videos on food shops, who also, for the record, claims to have POCD, knows exactly what it is and where this particular conversation is headed.
Have you heard of POCD before, Blabs?
POCD?
Yeah.
Person of color?
No, here.
But for those of you who have been blessed with the gift, and it is indeed a gift of ignorance on this particular topic, allow me to very tragically elucidate to you what exactly POCD is. POCD.
It's a made-up thing, by the way.
POCD stands for pedophilic obsession compulsion disorder, and according to the textbooks, refers to an individual who is obsessively paranoid about the thought that they may in fact be a pedophile. In more practical terms, however, POCD is very commonly used in much the same way as MAP, which is to say pedophiles trying to desperately downplay, deny, and ultimately defend what they truly are. And of course, this revelation about Anna Valens has coincided with a fair amount of evidence as to the true character of that particular individual. Such evidence includes Anna Valens being obsessed with so-called age play, with an apparent emphasis on mother-slash-daughter relationships, authoring multiple adult fantasy short stories revolving around non-consensual intercourse. And then there is, of course, that time a games journalist reported about how Anna Valens hooked up a vibrator to Fall Guys in order for the vibrator to do its thing when bumping into other characters in the game. And unfortunately, that is not where the evidence ends either.
Okay, and then we have I don't even want to hear this again. We've heard it before. So here's the end result of this.
Anna Valens does absolutely need a hard drive check at this point, which is why I have decided to take the extra step in this situation to report the whole matter to the FBI, as the evidence is substantial enough that I believe such an extreme course of action is completely warranted here. I should note for the record, though, that it appears that Anna Valens is not the only one at Vice who is in the realms of being suspect, because it turns out the site is full of articles defending pedophiles spanning well over a decade now. There is zero indication that Anna Valens is just a random fluke. Instead, this would appear to be a problem utterly indoctrinated into Vice as a news organization. This whole situation is yet another example of how the death of mainstream news media cannot come soon enough.
So, too far or perfect? Reporting.
What do you mean, like too far?
No, I mean reporting this person to the FBI.
No, I think it's justified given the statements this man has made.
Yeah,
I think it's quite justified. I don't know if anything is going to be done about it. It's probably like, oh, we knew. Oh no, look what happened.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to come of it either. But Yes, totally justified and really fucked up. Like the idea that we have any tolerance for this stuff at all is
Creepy.
like, yeah, above 0.0000001%. So
I have breaking news, so
Dim
we're
the
gonna
Lamp
play
says
it.
Vice removed the articles.
Can you
Wow,
not
they
hear
were
me?
the entire articles.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Can you not hear me?
You're muted.
Hello?
You're
Hello?
muted. You're muted.
But I'm not muted.
You're
Hello?
muted. And now my camera's gone. You're still muted, Blabs.
Hear me now?
Check your audio. There you go. Vice not found. Thank you, Blabs. Appreciate that. That is crazy.
Hello?
Yeah, well, seriously, Blabs, I can't hear you. Keep going. Keep trying. Blabs, you're muted.
Lucky,
No,
how
you
do
are. I can't hear you. I
Hello?
legitimately can't hear you. Maybe it's my side. I don't know. It's me,
We
not
can hear
you.
Blabs? You hear me?
Okay, I can't hear you. Hold on. You keep going. See what happens when you play fucking music on the show, Blabs? It's
Wait.
ridiculous.
We can hear it
Try
just
now.
fine.
Say something.
Fuck you, Craig. I knew
I
it
can't
wasn't
hear you.
me.
God damn it. Blabs, take us out. I'm here. Goodbye. I'm gonna go to the back end. You guys, there you go.